Is your faith wavering? Why do you have faith in people but not in God? Matthew 14:31 talks about when the disciples were on a ship out at sea and it began to storm. They looked out on the water. They thought they saw a spirit and they became afraid. Jesus said to them, "It is him," and told them not to be afraid. Peter said, "Lord, if it's you, allow me to walk on the water with you." So Jesus did just that. He told Peter to come with him. So Peter did, and he was walking on water with Jesus. But when he took his eyes off Jesus and was paying attention to how bad the wind was blowing around him, he began to sink. And he cried out to Jesus for help. Jesus immediately stretched forth his hand and caught him. And Jesus said, "O ye of little faith." Peter had faith at first, but then he began to doubt, which in return caused the consequences of him starting to sink. As people, we all at some point have and still maybe even do still have wavering faith. But God wants us to have unwavering faith. He wants you to know without a shadow of a doubt that he can and will handle any situation that you could ever face. We must remember that God is the author and the finisher. It ain't over until God says it's over. No matter what the doctors, lawyers, judges, teachers, or even what people may say, he has the last say so. Here are a few ways that we can all work to strengthen our faith. Praying, reading the Bible, and living your life the way that God sees fit for all of us to do. Seek guidance from God first and not man, because God won't ever lead you wrong, and man will. Read Matthew 14:22-33. That is what I'm speaking about right now. That's where I pulled the story from the Bible that I was just speaking about. But the exact verse that says, "O ye of little faith," is verse 31. We got to learn to keep our eyes on Jesus instead of the situation or the circumstances. God doesn't need our help in handling any situation. And if you truly think about it, it's when you are trying to handle the situation yourself and not consulting God first that the situation becomes worse. And then when you finally decide to consult with God after you have messed things up or the situation have become worse, then you go to God and want to get his help. When you could have just went to him from the beginning and it could have all been avoided. Thank you so much for listening. I am Cre-cre Inspires. I hope you all had a wonderful day and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.